Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to give the introduction about the control system. First of all, before going to a control system, we have to know about what is meant by a system. As all of you know that system is nothing but which consisting of some physical components and gives some to output to us. That we call it as a system. For example, if you are taking a classroom, it is consisting of benches, blackboard, and students. All along with all these things, we are going to do some task, and we are going to get some output. That we call it as a system. The system may be a controlled or an uncontrolled. But whenever we are going to control a particular system by using an input, that we call it as a control system. Here, how we are going to define a control system is nothing but the system which consisting of a number of components connected together to perform a specific function in which the output is going to be controlled by an input. Whenever we are going to control the output, that means always we are focusing on output, what we are going to get. That output must be a control by input. We call it as a control system. Always as a human, we are going to get a preferred output, that means a desired output. That desired output, how we are going to get is nothing but once if you are getting an output, that output you need to check. Once if you satisfy with that output, then you can't go to change the input. If you are not satisfied with the output, then definitely we are going to change the input up to get the desired output performance. Here the control system, basically we are having two types: open loop control system and a closed loop control system. Open loop control system means once if you are giving an input, automatically you are getting an output. That output may not be controllable, the output may not be desired one. The output just it will becomes as a system, it will be gives some output towards whether it is a controlled or whether it is your desired. That system, that particular open loop system will not going to be bothered. But coming to a closed loop control system, here the closed loop control system, once if you are giving any reference input if you are giving, that input will be going to be gives to that particular system, and then you are getting an output. At that particular output, we are going to use a feedback is nothing but some sensors, right? For example, if you want an 100-degree temperature, but you got an at the output only you are getting an 80 degrees temperature, then what should we do? We need to add some more temperature. How you are going to add that more temperature? By using an thermistors or by using an some thermocouple. You are going to some sense the, you are sensing the temperature, and you are by using the feedback you are giving the signal to again input. Now the input will we are going to vary to 80 to 100. Like that we are going to continue that process up to whenever you are getting your desired output. Up to that particular point, we are going to give that change that feedback signal. That is a continue process. In a closed loop control system, it is a very useful to get a desired output. Now the advantages of an open loop system is just it is having any feedback element, no feedback element. It consisting of any controller, so that it is a very simple and economical. Simple means in the point of construction point of view, it is a very simple. It is not having any controller, any feedback system, so that it is a very simple and economical, and it is very easier to construct, and the stability of the system will be more for an open loop control system. The coming to an advantages of a closed loop system is that it is a more accurate, and it will be going to be less affected by a noise. Noise is nothing but some disturbances. Whatever you are having in the controller or in the system, whatever you are having a disturbances, it will be going to be less affected. Disturbances may be there, but it will be going to be affected, less affected. Now disadvantages of an open loop control system: it is an inaccurate. Just now I told, Why it is an inaccurate? You are just giving the input and you are getting the output, so that whether your output will be going to be your desired or not, it will won't bother, so that it is an inaccurate. The and output will not going to be controlled by an input automatically. That means here in an open loop control system you are getting an output, whatever the output you are getting, that output only you need to use. That output will not going to be corrected automatically. When the output will be going to be corrected automatically, if it is having a feedback path, the output will be going to be check with the feedback path, and the signal will be going to be given to the input, and the input again will be going to be a recycle process. But in the case of open loop control system, the output are not corrected automatically. Coming to another disadvantages of a closed loop control system is, as it is consisting of a controller feedback system, so that the design of the closed loop control system is a complex, and at the same time in economical point of view also it is a costlier. The feedback reduces the overall gain of the system, and the stability is a more problem. Here all components, number of components will be going to be consisting in a closed loop control system. Because of that thing, the stability will becomes a more problem. The examples of an open loop control system is we are having an electric bulb, bread toaster, electric hand dryer. Coming to an examples for a closed loop control system is a voltage stabilizer, automatic toaster, inverter AC. All these will be going to be considered as a best example for closed loop control system. Apart from that, some systems we can use as both open loop as well as closed loop control system. For example, if you are taking a traffic light signal, that we can consider either it may be an open loop or it may be an closed loop control system. How you are going to use an open loop control system and how you are going to use an closed loop control system is nothing but open loop control system. For example, we are having at the traffic signal we are having four paths. In the four paths, irrespective of the density of the vehicles, if you are giving the same timer, for example 90 seconds at the particular signal you are giving, irrespective of the density of the vehicles. For example, in a line what we are observing, in a line we are having more vehicles, in some other line we are having a very less vehicles. For less vehicles also you are giving a 90 seconds, for more vehicle also if you are giving a 90 seconds, that will becomes an open loop control system. Why? Because the open loop control system will not bother about the output. For example, if we are depending upon the density of the people, density of the vehicles, for example if you are having density in one particular line, for that particular line if you are giving more time, the density where you are having less in the some other line, for that particular line if you are giving less time, that depending upon the density of the line, if you are giving less time, and automatically if that traffic signal will be going to be activate, that type of system we can call it as a closed loop control system. And next, we are having different types of control systems here. Types of control systems, there are different types of control systems we are having. First one is a linear system, non-linear system, time variant system, time invariant system, linear time variant system, linear time invariant system. These are the very different types of control systems. Again we are having more types of control systems also: discrete control systems, continuous control systems. Apart from that, we are going to discuss about basically these things. Linear system, as we know that linear is nothing but it must obey the principle of homogeneity, and it must obey the superposition theorem. What is the principle of homogeneity and what is the superposition theorem is that the sum of all the responses, the sum of individual responses must be equal to the total response of the system. We know that. For example, if I am considering n number of inputs, x1 of t, x2 of t, and so on xn of t, then we are getting an output y1 of t, y2 of t, y and so on yn of t. If you are adding all the that means finally if you are adding one output is we are here. See in this here I am going to consider x1 of t. The gain will be an a1, then output is y1 of t is equal to a into x1 of t. Similarly for second input y2 of t equal to a2 into x2 of t. In this diagram we are going to clearly observe that finally if you are getting an y3 of t, that means the total response of the system, it must be equal to the y1 of t, that means individual responses of the system, then we call it as a linear system. Non-linear system means the total response of the system will not going to be equal to the individual responses of the particular system, then we call it as a non-linear system. Time variant system, what is meant by a time variant system? As the time varying, if the system behavior will be going to be varies, then particular that type of system we call it as a time variant system. Time invariant system is nothing but, as we know that whatever it may be the time, if the behavior of the system or if the output of the system will not going to be vary, that particular type of the system we call it as a time invariant system. Similarly linear time variant, if the system is an linear and also an time variant, that particular type of system we call it as an linear time variant system. And a linear time invariant system is nothing but, if the system is that linear time invariant, it must be an linear and time invariant. For that particular types of the system we call it as an linear time invariant system. Similarly when I am telling about that closed loop control system, I used a word feedback system. What is meant by a feedback? Feedback is nothing but the output, whatever you are getting that output will be going to an senses, and that sensing, and then that output will be going to be given to a reference input, and then difference from that reference input it will be going to be a controller and that plant, and then output again we are going to get. How many types of feedbacks we are having? Basically two types of feedbacks are there: positive feedback and negative feedback. Here positive, G is a plant, H is a, first of all I want to discuss about the positive feedback. R of S is your reference input, C of S is your output, G is your plant, H is nothing but an feedback. For example, how you are going to find out the transfer function? Transfer function is nothing but, we know that Laplace transform of output of the system by Laplace transform of input of the system. That means now what is the output here? C of S. What is the input? R of S. Laplace transform of C of S by R of S, which will be gives your transfer function. Here at the output, how much you are going to get? C of S is equal to, here what is the signal, feedback signal you are going to get? C of S into H. At this particular summing point, what we are going to get is C of S into H plus R of S into G of S. From that, if you are simplifying that thing, C of S by R of S, which is equal to, we are going to get G by 1 minus GS. Similarly, if you are doing for negative feedback also, you are going to get C of S by R of S, G by 1 plus G of S, G or G divided by 1 plus GH. This is for positive feedback and negative feedback. Simply for positive feedback we are going to get negative in the denominator. For negative feedback we are getting positive signal at the denominator. Thank you.